So we are having giving instructions to the user, fill it with null value. The null value of for attribute will specify that either the value is not known or the value is not applicable. Consider the above example. Here the driving license number. There are two type of approaches there in the driving license number. Only one driving license number for one person, but for the 8002 ID, they have given two driving license number. It is also not allowed in a single value constraint. And also 8004, there is no value is not there. So we have to give the null value for that driving license number area. Integrity rule 1, entity integrity rule or constraint. The integrity rule 1 is called entity integrity rule or constraint. This rule states that no attribute of primary key will contain a null value. If a relation have a null value in the primary key attribute, then uniqueness or property of the primary key cannot be maintained. Consider the example below. Here the student ID, it is empty, so not allowed as a primary key, cannot contain null value. So you have to give some, definitely you have to give some values. So it is called as an entity integrity rule constraint. Entity integrity rule 2. The rule 2 is also called as a referential integrity constraint. This rule states that if a foreign key in a table 1 refers to the primary key of a table 2, then every rule of a foreign key in a table 1 must be null or be available in table 2. For example, here uh, DNO number foreign key, the same number, it is a 1010. Not allowed DNO 14 is not defined as a primary key, a table 2. And in a table 1, DNO is a foreign key defined. See that table 1 DNO 10, 11, 14 and 10 is there. In the table 2, here 10, 11, 12 is there. But primary key, that's why they are saying that DNO 14 is not defined in a primary key table 2. In this table, it is not defined. And in a table 1, DNO is a foreign key defined. Some more features of a foreign key. Let the table in which the foreign key is defined is foreign table or a details table. That is table 1 in the above example, and the table that defines the primary key and is referenced by the foreign key is master table or a primary table. That is table 2 in the in above example. Then the following properties must be held. Records cannot be inserted into the foreign table if corresponding records in the master table do not exist. Records of the master table on a primary table cannot be deleted or updated in corresponding records in the detail table actually exist. General constraints are the arbitrary constraints that should hold in the database domain constraint. Key constraints, tuple uniqueness constraints, single value constraints, integrity rule 1 and rule 2 constraints are considered to be fundamental part of the relational database model. However, sometimes it is necessary to specify more general constraints in the constraints like the check constraints or the range constraint, etc. Check constraints can ensure that only specific values are allowed in certain column, or for example, if there is a need to allow only three values for the color like Bacchus, chocolate, glistening gray and superior white, then we can apply the check constraint. All other values like green, etc. would be yield an error. Range constraint is implemented by between and not between. For example, if it is a requirement that the student age between ages be within 16 to 35, then we can apply the range constraints for it. The below example will explain the check constraints and range constraints. Check constraints it is applied, then here it is below age as the range defined in between 16 and 35. Thank you.